How's it going, everybody? This is the Stimulus Check Hub here, and today we're going to be talking about our fourth potential stimulus check, and I'm going to be ranting against why this entire thing was planned from the beginning. We are under a satanic government whose only goal is to extract resources from the people in order to reward themselves, and they're basically going to screw over anyone who's not rich, anyone who's not well connected. So let's get into it. The government has been saying time and time again, oh, we can't afford more stimulus. Oh my God, there's inflation. People at the lower end are finally starting to make a little bit more money. Isn't it funny how when people at the lower end finally start to make a little bit more money, all of a sudden there's a problem. All of a sudden our economy is going to fail because of that. It's definitely not going to fail because of our greedy politicians who have screwed up the entire economy, who have rigged the economy for themselves. So you have Nancy Pelosi and John Boehner, a Democrat and a Republican, who are basically insider trading. They're using insider information in order to make money. They're buying stocks like Microsoft. They're buying stocks that basically benefited from the shutdown, and they made a ton of money during this entire thing, and they won't be intellectually honest about it. So these people don't serve us. They're corrupt. They don't work for us. They work for themselves. They've never cared about the American people, and we have to stop deluding ourselves into thinking that these people are going to help us. They're not going to help us. They don't care about you. They want you to suffer. They want you to they want you to be at the bottom because they benefit from you being at a low level. They benefit from your energy being low. They want you to be a slave. They want you to be imprisoned. And that's not an exaggeration. So instead of passing more stimulus, our politicians are too busy insider trading, making money with insider information in the stock market, instead of helping out the American people with a fourth stimulus check, which is where all of their energy should be going. Also, we just passed a $6 trillion budget, or they're trying to pass a $6 trillion budget. Easily enough money to pass another stimulus check in there. We're spending trillions already. What's another trillion? It really doesn't make a difference at this point. They have no problem giving trillions to the military or trillions to the corporations or trillions to all of these other things that we don't need to fund nearly to the degree we do. But when it comes to helping the common people, all of a sudden we have a problem. All of a sudden we can't afford it. And I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of these corrupt politicians. We need term limits. Nancy Pelosi, she's like 80 years old. Why is she still serving? John Boehner, he served for like 40 years. Why was he allowed to do that? He's corrupt. He shouldn't have been able to serve more than one term. So we need term limits. We need strict auditing of all of their financials to make sure they're not profiting while they're in office. We need serious punishment for people who do profit while they're in office. If you're profiting while you're in office, you're a corrupt piece of crap, and you should be thrown in jail. That's really what should have happened to them. And by the way, they were basically pocketing our stimulus checks in a way, because if your energy is going towards making yourself money with insider trading instead of passing a fourth stimulus check, that means that you're corrupt. That means that you're stealing money from the people. That means we shouldn't take you seriously. So no one should take Nancy Pelosi seriously. No one should take John Boehner seriously. They shouldn't be listened to. They're not people who are serious about helping the people. And they can put on a smile and blame the other side and act like they care about the people, but don't believe it. It's a complete lie. We have heard time and time again from these people that they care about us, that they want to help us. No, we're done. Don't believe these people. Cut them completely out of your life. That's what has to be done here, because if we don't do this, our country's going to die. Number one, our country will die eventually. If you keep a corrupt energy, if you keep these parasites basically destroying the country for their own benefit, if you allow them to keep doing that, the entire system's going to crumble. So these people need to be gotten rid of. They need to be fired. They need to be held accountable. I don't know why people keep voting for them. I think it's purely on name recognition. You see Nancy Pelosi on the ballot and people just check it off, not realizing she shouldn't be in office in the first place. We need to start voting third party. That's what everyone needs to really do. In order to get stimulus checks, in order to get what needs to be done, we need to start voting third party, because voting third party sends a clear message to both parties. Hey, we're done with your games. If you're not going to adhere to some sort of principles, if you're not going to help the people and you're not going to be intellectually honest, you know what? You're done. We're not going to vote for you anymore. That's what people need to do. People have to wake up, because if we don't do this, They're never going to stop. These people are never going to stop. They want you on the street. They want you enslaved. That is their goal. If that wasn't true, they wouldn't be insider trading. Instead of focusing on a stimulus or another bill they could pass to help people, they're focused on enriching themselves. That's how you know it's complete. It's completely a lie. Whenever they tell you they want to help you, they don't want to help you. They're sociopaths. They only want to help themselves. So these people they've never worked real jobs. They've never struggled. They've never worked at a fast food place. They've never worked at a meatpacking plant. They've never done any sort of real work. So they have no concept of like real productive work. They have no concept of real struggle, earning a lower wage. They only know these high, insane wages we're paying these people, $200,000 a year. Nancy Pelosi's getting paid $200,000 a year. She works for us. The average American makes $35,000. Why is she getting $200,000 a year? She doesn't even do her job. She doesn't help the people. And I know I'm not trying to like totally rip into her, but I kind of am. Like at a certain point, we have to just realize this person will not change. They're not someone who's going to shift their viewpoint. They're not someone who's going to adapt. They're someone who is purely in it for themselves. If you have a cancer in your system, you have to cut that cancer out completely out of your life. If you have someone in your life who's a negative influence, you have to cut that person out because they're going to drain your energy. And it's the same thing here. Instead of passing more stimulus, instead of working to help the people, now they're diverting their energy towards enriching themselves. And we've seen this time and time again. This happened during 2008 too. You saw a bunch of companies, a bunch of these rich elitist politicians. They bought up everyone's houses at the bottom of the market because they deliberately crashed the economy. Any economic crash that we have going forward was purely caused by the politicians. They ran up the debt. They didn't balance the budget. They spent over the amount we had. It's completely their fault. They could have been honest with the people. Hey, we have to make some cuts here, here, here. We have to increase taxes here, 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 whatever. They don't do that. They just lie and lie and lie, and they never want to pay for anything. They never want to take responsibility. So we need to completely cut these people out. Third party only. I'm done with the Democrats and Republicans. They're not going to help people. They're not interested in helping people. We need third parties. We need fourth parties. We need totally different parties. I hope to see that in my lifetime where we get away from this Democrat-Republican game and start moving towards really helping people, because these people will never help you. They will never help you. They will only help you insofar as it benefits themselves. That's the dirty little secret to this whole game. So the fourth stimulus check, am I optimistic it's going to pass? Am I optimistic it's coming? I know there's calls for it by some members in Congress, and I think it's a good thing that they're calling for that. But do I think it's going to get passed in an individual bill? No, I don't. I believe personally the only way they're going to do a stimulus is after the system starts to fall apart, which is going to happen when they raise interest rates, or it's going to happen when the market goes through a serious downturn, because they're not going to have enough tax revenue. There's going to be serious problems. So I think they're going to be doing stimulus during that time, either through some sort of guarantees jobs program. Who knows what they're going to do? I don't know. You can't read through the tea leaves with these people. You never know what they're saying, if it's true, if it's not true. And I love it how these people are complaining about the news, but they're lying constantly. So even if you listen to them, you're not getting the straight story. So why do we even bother? What's the point? What's the point? What's the point? Why do we listen to these people if they're not being honest? You know? I mean, you kind of have to, because they are in charge. They are making real change to benefit themselves. But there's really nothing else that we can do. But yeah, I'm just kind of angry at the system right now.